Mendix 11.11 is here and lets you update your styling through Maia Chat, powers a faster and more capable agent editor, and introduces another round of all-round platform stability and performance updates. Let's dive in. Changing your app's look and feel is now as simple as telling Maia what you want. Maia can read and modify your application's theme and turn design specifications into working CSS without any front-end experience. Upload brand guidelines, connect to Figma design tokens, or simply describe your vision. Maia then intelligently modifies the CSS variables for colors, typography, spacing, and more, understanding the complete atlas structure to make changes that cascade properly. And with built-in contrast checks, you can also make sure your theme stays accessible. Maia can also create design properties, so when you need a new button style, animations, or a compact container variant, just ask Maia and it will handle the configuration for you. This update makes front-end customization more accessible to everyone on your team, and we're excited for you to try it out and hear what you think of this new feature. The Agent Editor helps you develop, test, optimize, and ship agents as part of your app lifecycle in Studio Pro. In the latest release, we've introduced a cleaner and more focused experience by splitting the editor into two dedicated views, Build and Playground. The Build view keeps you focused on designing your agent by configuring its model, prompts, tools, and other core settings without the distraction of test controls. When you're ready to test, switch to the Playground view, where you can find all the tools you need to run and evaluate your agent. With fast reloads, you can refine your agent and get back to testing in seconds. If your agent isn't responding the way you want, you can quickly make changes and try again. Update the system prompt, add or remove tools, tweak model parameters, or even switch models. When the next iteration is ready, just hit restart and test again. And if it still needs work, keep iterating. And that's the value of fast reloads. Let us know how fast you're going with this update. Do you remember those moments when you wanted to see what changed in a file on the disk or what exactly changed in an XPath constraint, but you didn't have the right third-party tool configured? With Mendix 11.11, we're introducing file diffing inside Studio Pro. It's as simple as double-clicking a changed file or textual value on the Changes pane and seeing the two versions next to each other in a pop-up. Additions are marked in green, while deletions are marked and shown as red to easily see how the files compare to each other. Of course, you can also trigger this from the recently introduced Comparison pane, so you can inspect changes in detail when looking at older versions as well. And with that, gone are the days that you couldn't see all the detailed changes in those large XPath constraints. Happy diffing! You can now use the intermediate message event in your workflow in the form of the notification event. You can use it to build more dynamic event-driven processes, like pausing your workflow and waiting for a specific event before moving forward, or reacting to an external message or event while an activity is still running. Without having to build complex workarounds, you can now do that with the notification event. You can use it as a normal or inline event and embed it directly within your workflow path to introduce intelligent waiting points as a lighter alternative to the wait for notification activity. This ensures your processes only advance when specific notifications are received. This is perfect for orchestrating complex sequences that depend on external system confirmations, user actions, or data updates. Waiting for a payment gateway success or holding until a third-party API callback is received before proceeding, for example. You can also use it as a boundary event by attaching it directly to an activity to create a robust exception handling or dynamic process steering. Depending on your needs, it can be configured as interrupting, which cancels the current activity and redirects the flow, or non-interrupting, where it branches off into a parallel path while the original activity continues. This gives you precise control over how your workflow reacts to an incoming external trigger mid-task. For example, catching a cancellation request while an approval task is still in progress, immediately redirecting the flow. Check out the documentation and try out the new event in Studio Pro now. Whenever you want to bring a new version of your application live, you want to be sure it's ready and meets your standards. This often means running quality, test, or security checks in tools outside of Mendix, which are only executed manually because they are separated from Mendix pipelines. To solve this, we're excited to introduce post and get requests in Mendix Pipelines. These new pipeline steps let you securely call external systems as part of the deployment process. You can configure any API endpoint, define headers and a payload, and extract variables from the response. A post request is typically used to trigger an action in an external system. A GET request can then retrieve its results. Based on those results, the pipeline can either continue or fail, ensuring that only compliant builds move forward. In this video example, the pipeline triggers a test run in Menditect test automation, waits for the result, and continues only once the test succeeds, which can also be seen in the Menditect portal. By bringing the possibilities of integrations to Mendix Pipelines, teams can get creative with their pipeline automation. You can upgrade your pipelines to connect to any tool, ensure consistency across releases, and improve governance adherence for all your applications without ever having to leave the Mendix portal. With Mendix 11.11, you now have the option to use the new refreshed domain model. This not only gives it a fresh new look, but it also provides a better way to visualize entities, so it's easier for you to understand and review your domain models. You can enable the new look and feel using the toggle in the toolbar of the domain model document. And that rounds up this release. You can find the full list of updates in the release blog on mendix.com/blog and the release notes on docs.mendix.com. You can download Studio Pro 11.11 at marketplace.mendix.com to use all these new features right now. Thank you for watching. I'm Jan de Vries, your low-code host, and I'll see you in the next video. Ready for round one? Oh. And I'm going to do that again. Agent Editor helps you develop. It's as simple as double-clicking. You can now do that with this notification. What's going on? Ensuring that whenever you want to bring in I don't want to bring anything. With Mendix 11.11, you now and share their knowledge with what am I saying? And that rounds up